I'm sorry, but she's gone. We hear the words and start to remember how bad it was that day, the way you looked laying lifeless in the bed. The sounds of the death rattle had suddenly come to an end. Although the room was loud with music, trying to drown the pain, the little girl inside me screamed and cried to no end. My mom is gone, the nurses said. My heart just wouldn't let me feel. I wanted to be numb from the pain, to forget all the hurt in the past, the broken bits and shattered pieces of my soul. I hope you've made it home to heaven since you were so good to others all around, but only when it came to me, you were never easily found. Years and years of emotions fill my mind from all my years of life. From the happiness I felt when you picked me up for ice cream or dancing around the room, to the rejection of you turning me away, choosing her over me like you only had one daughter instead, forcing someone else to love me as their own. Your blood is still pumping in my veins, your voice in my mind saying the breathtaking words that I ruined it for you, that you checked out of motherhood in 1991. I had never asked to be born. I wouldn't have wanted to trap you in life. If ever given the chance, I hope at least a part of you knew. Below all the hurt and pain that you caused, I'm just a little girl who wants to hear her mommy say, I love you. Why is this so hard? What did I do so wrong? Why wouldn't you ever love me like you do her? All of this and so much more comes rushing over me as I call her to tell her you're gone. She wasn't there for your last moments. She said she couldn't stand to see you go. Yet the baby girl that you stopped loving was the one to reassure you that it was all going to be okay and that the pain would soon be gone away. I tried my hardest to make you proud of me in all areas of my life, graduating high school, dancing on the competition team, making it through some really tough struggles, even ones that you actually could relate to, some of the ones that you also had, from being homeless and alone at 18 to failed attempts at love. You even let me come spend a week with you during a really hard time when I was no longer a victim. Also being the black sheep among this family of ours. You ran off with the boy, the one you said you loved. You got married and had 2 daughters. Then somewhere along the way, you got lost. Lost within the world of mental health issues, where there is little to no help without deep pockets or good insurance at least. Some years later, it finally got the best of you. Being trapped inside of your home, you ran off and skipped states, but you left here all alone. Once you came back around, you were always allowed back in. Not once were you kept from us, but the lines of communication became so thin. Through the years we would visit and you would make that drive, calling before you left, so I waited the hour and 45. I would stare out the window, always checking the time, even calling sister to see if you were there, only to find out that you had come and gone already and forgot to come see me without a care. Once I started driving to you, we were able to build a bond, a way of looking and fixing past, you said. Yet the more time that went on, we drifted further apart instead. I was never one to make you worry. I could take care of myself. I even helped take care of you, although you didn't ask me to. I protected you from all that I could and helped you in every way a child knew how, even into adulthood, doing my absolute best for you, saving you from domestic violence, even the small things such as paying for a pizza or bringing you a McRib since I knew they were your favorite, but the income of disability seemed like next to none. Until I was only working part-time and needed you for some extra help, suddenly your wallet opened up for me, but it had some major strings attached. I know I never made it to paying you back, but at this point, the guilt over that is gone. I tried to tell myself the money was a way to buy a different painted past, one where there were no weeks at a time filled with tears from you leaving again, only visiting her when I was only 15 minutes further away, one where we could be happy together. The hardest part of it was knowing that I was never enough to make you want me, or to feel like you loved me. You always said you loved me, and you would usually, before leaving, give me a hug. But when times got really tough and dark for me, the suicidal thoughts and all, the only advice you had to give was, go tell your other mom. But knowing you had gone through the same feelings, it made it sting so much worse. Because of the conflict between you and the woman who raised me, I was forced to miss out. Miss out on your love, miss out on your time, miss out on even a phone call. Sure, I got letters in the mail, or you misspelled my own name. Yet in your eyes, that mom I did have was the one to blame. But in my eyes, that mom was so much more than you ever were. She was the one who got me well when I was sick. She got me through the heartache of you and your demise, even went as far as paying for your cremation to help me through it all. In comparison to you, you've made my tears fall. Through all of my health issues, heartaches, best friends, and sleepless nights, even as an adult, the miscarriage and marriage struggles, she's the one who gets me through. I'm so very glad to have had her, so at least I knew love back. When it comes time for questions about you in the past, Daddy won't discuss it, and just says that he won't speak ill of the dead. So instead, I'm left with nothing but more questions than answers, more pain and sorrow with no actual cause. Just a little girl inside who wants to love her mom and wants to understand. I did get a lot from you in my life. I have your love of music, the open road, and much needed time for me space. But I also have the last memory of you burnt as an image of fear in your face. You were so scared of knowing that you weren't coming back to your home, but I did all that I could to make it better for you. I signed the DNR against my own selfish wish, got you the best hospice around, even found one that was halfway from your house to our family in our hometown. Day after day, I went there to visit with you, while missing on work and income, time with my own family, and each way is over an hour's drive. Each day I left crying a little bit more inside, knowing the time was coming quickly and I would never be able to say that we had enough time. I know you couldn't help it and how it happened, dying on my wedding anniversary, but the worst part of the day wasn't that you passed. The worst part is the way I was so mad at you for it. Mad that you made me be the one to do it. Mad that you made me care. Mad that in some ways you ruined a very special day. But knowing I would never forget about you this way, knowing I would respect your wishes, but not knowing what it would do to me, I'd written you off in so many ways. Still losing you hurts me more than I can even still say. I never wanted this for you. I loved you, maybe just a little bit too much, but that's a downfall that I will never regret. Having a heart of pure gold like I do is the very same quality that made me continue to be there for you. I always asked what was what or how you've been. How can I help was a routine text from me to you. You always had an answer, but never just a simple I love you. Looking back at all that's happened, it made me truly see the biggest thing I learned from all of this is how I will make sure my kids never feel this pain unlike me. They'll never have to stop to wonder, why wasn't I enough? Why would a mother leave her child feeling helpless and alone? My kiddos will never know the feeling of having to always be so tough. Living without my mother's love, it sure was rough. Since you have passed, I've seen the world in a whole new light. I've seen people come and go when they don't know what to say or how to act. The ones we love don't stop dying. We just have to get used to it. Life continues on for someone, somewhere, each and every day. But many people do not stop to think about when those last moments come. How do I prepare? What more can be done? Having to navigate it all without knowing your true choices made it hard for me. Even to this day, I have nightmares and wonder if what I did was right. Then I remember how many times we talked about the work of Dr. Kevorkian, and that alone gives me peace. Knowing hospice would care to help you, I know I did right by you, and it has also helped me to know how to prevent some of the pain for my own loved ones. Once that time comes for me to pass, I've already made the choices for myself and I've expressed them to others. That way there's no guessing for when I'm not around.